Hello fellow Metamaniacs, Mike the Pied Piper here, and I'm here with another deck profile video for you this week. And just like last week, I told you I was going to do a Vegito Blue deck profile video, and I'm not here to disappoint. I do have a Vegito Blue deck profile that I actually built. Right now, this is meant for best of one. A lot of the best of one tournaments right now that are out currently in the tournament format for getting your championship packs or getting your event packs. So it's a really fun deck to play that actually utilizes a lot of the new blue Unison cards that came out in set 10. A lot of the promos and stuff like that. I'm actually quite excited for set 11. At least the Unison cards that I've seen so far have been extremely powerful. I know the green Dark Broly for sure. That literally is a double striker and gains 2 markers, and it can blow up a battle card and make your opponent discard a card. So I can't wait to see what the blue Unison cards are going to offer. So quite excited about that. Anywho, we're going to get right into the deck profile video here. Let me bring up the screen here. All right. So again, this deck, it is meant for the best of one, so you'll notice that there is no side deck. And again, I've been playing around with a few features of the deck, but I'll kind of go over it and make some changes here and there, but so far I do like the way this runs. So first off, if you are not familiar with the blue Vegito leader, the blue Vegito leader is actually quite powerful. I wish DBS decks would bring what it does when I highlight it. But essentially, what it does is auto, when this card attacks, you draw 1 card. And then if one of your blue Unison cards or one of your battle cards is KO'd or removed by a skill, KO'd or removed by a skill, you can actually awaken this card. It isn't called awaken, it just flips the card over. You get to draw 2 cards, and you go right into your flip side. Otherwise, you would be able to awaken if you are at 4 life or less. You would then draw 1 and untap an energy. So I really like this, like on the non-awaken side, the front side. I really like this because it gives you the chance to actually awaken as early as turn 1 or 0. Because literally all you're going to do is you're going to pay a 1-drop. You're going to play a blocker. Once they activate blocker, they KO the blocker, then you can turn around and awaken. So you could have 8 life and be sitting on your awaken side at 15,000 power with a pretty full hand. So really, really cool. Love the front side. The back side is when it gets really fun as well. So first off, when the card attacks, you draw a card, and then you have activate battle. For 2 blue energy, you get to choose one of your Unison cards. It gets plus 10,000 power and triple strike for the battle. I believe it is for the battle. Yeah, it is for the battle. So really, really good. 2 blue energy, plus 10k, triple strike for the battle. You can get one of your extremely powerful, turn a Unison card that maybe would just be a single striker, turn it right into a triple striker, and notice it says activate battle. So that is after your opponent activates blockers or counters. So if they don't counter, they don't block, then you can pay the 2 blue energy, turn it into a triple striker that now your opponent's going to have to overcome. So really, really good value on that. Then it does have the once per turn. If one of the Unison cards or battle cards are KO'd, you get to draw 1 card and then untap an energy, which is just extremely solid. So I'll get kind of into the deck profile or the deck and kind of how it works. So first, at the beginning of the game, you're really going to want to draw one of these 2. You're either going to want to draw Dr. Rhoda or you're going to want to draw Quick Dodge Sun Goten. These are 1 energy costs. They're blockers. You play them at the beginning of the game. Your opponent attacks, activate blocker, and then because your blocker was KO'd, you can instantly go into Vegito on its flip side. So you're literally awakening again. It's awakening or go to your backside as early as turn 1 or 1 or even 0 because you play it and then your opponent takes care of it. So really good, especially with Dr. Rhoda, you actually get to untap an energy when you activate this block. So once KO'd, you get to choose one of your blue energy, and switch it to active mode. So you're even just activating one of your energies. So again, really good defense for the deck. Also helps you awaken early. The next card you wouldn't mind getting at the beginning of the game is Mai. It is a 1-drop. When this card is played, you get to look at the top 5 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 blue Unison card with a specific cost of 2 or 1 blue Trunks future card among them to your hand, and then shuffle your deck. This essentially can pull 8 different targets in the deck. It could pull our 2-drop Unison, which Gogeta Pursuit of Power, or it can pull the SS Trunks God Stealing Technique. This is one of our Unison cards. If your leader card's a Blue Saiyan, and if you have a Blue Saiyan battle card in play in rest mode, your leader card don't take damage from attack. So this is really solid because it essentially gives your one of your blue cards essentially a deadly defender. If you guys aren't familiar with what the deadly defenders are, basically as long as that card is tapped, your leader card can't be attacked. You have to take out the deadly defender. And they had one for each color. I forget what set they came out with, but really, really solid. Basically turns one of your sand cards into a deadly defender. So really good. So you can either pull that, or you can pull the S Trunks God Stealing Technique, which is just extremely solid. If you have a Unison card in play with 2 or more markers, you can actually activate this counter from your hand without even paying its energy cost. And this counterplay card is you may discard this card from your hand. If you do, the battle card being played is returned to its owner's hand instead. Otherwise, you can play this card out into play. So instead of making your opponent just put that card back in their hand, you could essentially play this 5-drop Trunks, which could give you an extra attacker on the field. So Mai can pull one of those 2. I do run another Unison card in here, SS3 Gogeta Super Warrior Evolution. Very similar to the other Gogeta. The reason I like this one, number one, it is a dual attacker, which essentially you could do this twice. Notice it says activate battle. It does not say once per turn. So if you have this guy out and you have the 4 energy, you can essentially do a dual attack triple striker twice. So really, really good. Also, this does have a similar effect. If your leader card is a Blue Saiyan and you have a Blue Saiyan card in play in rest mode, your leader card doesn't take damage from attack. So again, if I have any one of my Unison cards out and one of my Saiyan cards are in rest mode, you can't even attack my leader. You either have to attack my Unison or you need to attack the card that's in rest mode. So really, really solid. Again, this does have dual attack, and then this even has an activate main just for -1. That's it. Choose 2 of your opponent's battle cards, return them to their owner's hand, and then choose 1 mono Blue Saiyan card with an original energy cost of 2 or less in your hand, and play it with its skills negated for the turn. So, again, this is a 3 specific cost SS3 Gogeta Super Warrior Evolution, or 3 cost Unison card. You pay the 3, you -1, you get to play a 2 cost from your hand, negate its skills for the turn, put it in rest, actually, you only got to put it in rest mode, it's just its skills are negated. And then essentially the next turn, now your opponent has to deal with one of those 2 in order for them to even do any damage to your leader. So it's almost like, again, having a deadly defender or a blocker out. So really, really good. So the next thing I want to get into the deck are the 2 drops that I actually run that combos really well with it. Oh, well, first I guess we can talk about the SS Trunks Architect of Peace, which actually, now that I think about it, is another card that essentially you could pull with my Bulwark of the Future, so that's even another target. But what's really nice about this card is if you combo with this card and you pay 1 blue energy, you can choose a Saiyan, a Blue Saiyan card with an energy cost of 2 or less in your hand, negate its skills for the turn, and play it in rest mode. So you could play any one of the 2 cost, I think it even says 2 costs or less. Yeah, 2 or less. So you could even play like a Quick Ton Go 10, play it from your hand, and again, that would trigger one of these Unison cards where they can't even attack your leader. So it's like even having a blocker out or a deadly defender. So that's a really good solid card to run in here. The 2-drops that I run in here, I do run SSB Vegito Heroic Warrior. If your lead card's a blue sand card, this card gains critical, so not bad. 2-drop, get to play a critical. And then when this card is KO'd, draw 1 card and then add up to 1 blue Unison card with a specific cost of 2 from your drop area to your hand. So this just ensures that you're going to get your 2, like you're always going to have some type of Unison card in your hand when this card is KO'd. And again, they're going to need to KO this card if they're going to turn around and do damage with you, unless they're going to go directly against these Unison leaders directly, or these Unison cards directly. So really solid. The other one I run, I see a lot of people, they do run just the Son Goku 2-drop 20k. I chose to run the Son Goku striving to be the best for a couple of reasons. Number one, it does have barrier. So they can't, like, when you do this 2-drop and you negate its skills for the turn, opponents just can't say, oh, I'm just going to blow up your battle card and, oh, yep, now I can attack your leader. With this thing having barrier, they are now going to have to take some resources to go after this. So I do like it because it has barrier. And then the other thing is it does shut down your opponent. Your opponent's battle cards with energy costs 2 or less can't attack. So if they got this very wide board, I know Ginyu is actually extremely popular right now. Ginyu's going to hate this card because their 2-drop 15Ks can't do squat with this card being out. So I do like running this. Does extremely well against Ginyu. So I do run this Son Goku striving to be the best. Another 2-drop you could run, and this is why I do run the super combo with this deck, is the Son Gohan Accelerated Slam. Again, if your leader card is blue and your life is at 4 or less when this card is used in a combo, draw 1 card. That's why I run the super combo in the deck, is because it's another 2-drop that you could essentially play from your hand, and like if you really needed that 2-drop. You could run the Sparking 5 one. There is a 2-drop Sparking 5. I believe it is the Great Saiyaman, if I remember right. You could run that one in your deck instead of running the Son Gohan Accelerated Slam. I don't know. I like this one just because, getting cards into your discard pile. I think you're going to be at 4 or less life before you have a bunch of cards in your discard pile. But you could play around with that. You could either run this one or you could run the Great Saiyaman one. Next, I wanted to get into the negates that I run with the deck. I do run Dimension Magic. Obviously, counterattack. Just really good. Negate, then you can untap 2 energy. Also take that life if you absolutely need it with Sparking 5. Also, because you are untapping a lot of energy in this deck, especially with Vegito's power and your blockers, I do run all too easy because it's essentially another counterattack that you can recycle. So it's like, oh, hey, it's in my discard. You can then just turn around and go, great, I'm going to remove a card from my hand from the game and then play this card from the discard pile. So it just it gives even more and more and more defense to the Vegito deck, which, I'm all about not just going all out and attacking. I like having that defense and being ready for that all-out assault that my opponent may come after me with. Sensu Bean, because I'm blue and I have blue energy, and Sensu Bean is like a staple. Until they ban this card, I will be running this in every blue deck. There's no reason not to run it in every blue deck. So I went over almost every card in this deck except the SCR. The SCR that I do run in here is the SS4 Gogeta Peerless Fusion. This is a late game card that you will play. Basically, when you play this thing, you untap 2 energy, so it's a pretty safe card to play when you're at 5. If all of your energy is the same color, which it will be because all your deck is blue except this card, and if you're putting this in your energy, then you can't play this anyway. So it's a guaranteed triple striker that you have out in play. It's a 45,000 attack power card. You're drawing cards, you're untapping 2 energy, then 2 of your opponent's battle cards are blown up. And then you choose 2 cards in their hand that get blown up. So what I really like about this is when you're at the 5 energy, you can turn around, play this thing, untap 2 energy. If you have a Unison card out, then you can turn around and pay 2 with Vegito's power. And then you can just, again, guaranteed triple strikers that you have out in play. The only thing to keep in mind is once you do play this SS4 Gogeta, you're not going to be able to play any more battle cards, so you're really not going to be using SS3 Gogeta Super Warrior Evolution. You're not going to be using these permanent abilities where they say if you have a blue Saiyan card in rest mode, unless the Saiyan card's already out. So predominantly, if you are playing this is when you are swinging for game. You've got quite a bit of counters into your hand. Your board's pretty wide. Like you know that you're going to have a few turns that you're going to be able to go after your opponent. Well, anyway, fellow Metamaniacs, that is my blue Vegito Deck Profile video. I will be playing this in a few local tournaments and side tournaments. Going back and forth between my blue Vegito and red Vegito deck. I know I've had some people ask how my Zamasu deck has been doing. It's been doing absolutely fantastic. I have made a few more changes to it. I did remove the Zeno from it. And instead added some Dimension Magics just to ensure that I'm going to Awaken, which I really like. But if you have not had a chance to check out that deck profile video, please check out that deck profile video on the channel. Such a fun deck to play. I use set 2 Zamasu, and I've loved it since day one. Like when set 2 first came out, I loved the Zamasu deck. The Zamasu leader, and now that you can have 60 cards in your deck and negates with sparking to ensure that you're going to be able to awaken, it's just so much fun to play, and your opponent's got to burn through so much life. Well, let me get back on the regular video here. Well, I just want to give a shout out to our Patreon supporters. Thank you so much. Renee and Trent from Tech Games, thank you so much for being Patreon supporters. And then also our others Patreon supporters at the end of our video. If you guys do have a deck profile video that you would love to share, please share it with us. Like we'd love to see it. We'd love to share it to the channel. Just let me know. Give me a little information about your deck profile, and we'll go through it. And kind of share our deck ideas. So all right, well, take it easy, fellow Metamaniacs, and we're gonna again stick with my saying that I had one of my friends told me that I'm gonna say at the end of every video. Your wish has been granted. Take it easy. Bye.